Hello, this is Yana Paskova, a photojournalist based in New York City. Most Americans who travel to Cuba catch themselves in a time machine moment. Their grandfather's Chevy passing by, the absence of email. Mine came in the form of a lada and a red scarf, two symbols of my childhood in Bulgaria. Bulgaria is a formerly communist nation turned to democracy by the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. Last year's anniversary of this event, which is what allowed my family to immigrate to the Western world 25 years before, invited me to examine how both democracy and communism affected my country, and awakened a stronger urge to explore places of kindred circumstances, Cuba being one of them. The recent warming in Cuban-American relations has been of particular fascination to me, as of course has the accompanying speculation over the future of communism on the island. During my visit, I observed life in Cuba as only a native of the Soviet bloc could. Struck by the decorum of communism, the appearance of choice, the bell-eyed government involvement in nearly every aspect of daily routine. Cubans can vote, although limited to one-party delegates in a unicameral parliament. Some private entrepreneurship is allowed, but restricted by a lack of advertising and steep taxes on business expansion. Artists toe the line of self-expression, knowing that if they cross it with a non-sanitized view of the country, they risk losing support from state-run galleries. Rallies, voting, and party activity from youth to old age are not mandatory, but reason for social and professional ostracism if chosen to omit. Committees for the defense of the revolution that are peppered in every neighborhood promote community projects, yet also alert the government of dissident activities. Government control means safety, but often distributed with a heavy hand that also restricts expression, travel, and economic independence. My project was not about political alignment. In both theory and practice, there are pros and cons to capitalism as there are to communism. It was simply a childhood relived, and my future imagined had democracy been just a whispered about, but never seen, guessed. I saw myself in the child in a red scarf saluting voters, my mind too young for politics, simply eager to belong. Memories of my grandfather, who gave 5 youthful years to a forced labor camp after failing to show proper enthusiasm for the party, flickered through my mind in front of photos held by the ladies in white, who still protest political imprisonment despite beatings and detentions. One too many a family shared the familiar pain of separation via necessity, and not an innate desire for emigration. All these parallels, while not sought out, are what a life-straddling communism and democracy had fine-tuned me to openly receive and record. Those who are bound by Cuba's borders, those who observe life within as part of their profession or routine, do not often have this luxury. I'd originally thought being from a former communist nation would help forge a bond with the people of Cuba, but I quickly found that many weren't sure of Bulgaria's recent history, whether it was still communist, nor the democratic changes introduced in the 1990s. Information that enters and exits the island is still very much government-controlled. And so, like the rest of the world, I'm captivated by Cuba's future, as a Bulgarian and an American, both. I wonder if and when the country's borders will open, releasing curious souls but thinning its population as in Eastern Europe. Will the promise of a U.S. trade partner 100 miles away be enough to end a half-century-old trade embargo? And would an attitude of incentive, not one of disincentive, better spotlight what's changing and what isn't?